Every story is important. Every story is of equal significance.
I agree.
And I encourage every woman and every man, of course, everyone, every individual, to share what's in their heart because that connects you with the people.
Yes.
And we never know who's listening and whose problems we are solving just by sharing what we've been through. And that's why telling a story is very, very important.
Hey, my name is Lisa Hugo, and I'm obsessed with helping other people find and develop their voices so they can go out and take on the world, be seen as an authority, expert, and speak their truth with utmost confidence because they know that what they have to share will connect with their audience and make a difference. I studied performing arts and spent 20 years of my career traveling the world as a professional singer-songwriter. I teach you the secrets to speak up and be heard, overcome your fears, to build your speaking skills, and learn how you can use your skills to make a change both in your own life and the lives of others. This is your one-stop shop for all things confident speaking. This is Impact Through Voice. Well, hey there, and welcome back to the Impact Through Voice podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Hugo. I'm back in the studio. We're in the executive suite today, and I'm joined by Nousheen Mukhtar. Now, Nousheen is an entrepreneur, a business owner, and she's passionate about helping other leaders and entrepreneurs to become more visible and be recognized for their expertise in their industry. So I know she's got a ton of value to share with us. Welcome to the show, Nousheen.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm sure we are going to enjoy the conversation today.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen you on LinkedIn. I've been observing you for quite some time, and this is just recently that we've connected. And you're very much in all of the PR, media, and event space. And as I mentioned, you're wanting to help people to become more visible. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Sure. So I did not start as a PR person or an events person. My journey started from my skill as a writer. I had already been published in various magazines and a few of the newspapers as a columnist long before I started professionally anywhere at all. So that was like 2002 and 2001 when I was writing, and I was very young and very passionate about it as a literature student. So that's where the seed of everything is. My first enterprise was a content agency. Very small scale. We started small after my success as a writer. And then from then onwards, the journey was exhilarating. So now I work in three major areas. We foster women empowerment. We support women, which is one of the major goals that we have. We also work towards supporting innovation, especially tech enterprises.
Right.
Then the third area is economic diplomacy. So these three areas are where we are focusing on. So we do that through our work, which is obviously conducted by my companies, including at the moment, Nousheen Marketing Management, which is a PR and marketing agency that takes care of the presence of multiple companies, brands, and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Then Impact Events, which is an event organizing and management company. Then Impact Publishers, which is a publishing agency. It takes care of publishing content through two of our magazines. One is StyleFemina magazine for women, and then we have Impactpreneur for entrepreneurs. And we also...
I was going to say, where does the list end? How do you have so many hats?
And then we also take care of book publishing for thought leaders. That is also taken care of through Impact Publishers. So this is pretty much what we do. I tried to sum up quickly so that our audience doesn't get bored. Wearing many hats
Yes.
comes very easy. And it's just as convenient for everybody else as well. You just need to be who you are, and you will naturally wear all of those hats. because you can be many people at the same time. You might have many talents that you yourself are not aware of. So wearing many hats comes naturally to all those women and men who wear many hats, to be honest. This is what I believe in.
Well, I think women are, I'm going to say this, I think women are better at it than men. I mean, we can multitask, so we can do lots of different things all at the same time. And I don't think men are quite as adapted at being able to do that. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. But, I mean, you must have to be able to be a good delegator and not take on everything, because you couldn't possibly be handling all of these different companies and then also be able to manage everything. And you have to be able to delegate.
That's true. That's true. So during my career, let me put it this way, during my entire entrepreneurial career and journey, I've built 7 so-called enterprises. Some of them closed at the time, or end of 2019, beginning of 2020, for the reason that 2020 was not going to be as fabulous as other years were.
Okay.
And then we pivoted and we recreated many models, and those models are now operating under Impact and Nousheen Marketing Management and the magazines and everything else. So this being said, delegation has been the key to growth. If we have not had the right kind of team, the right kind of vendors, the right kind of supporters to execute work, we wouldn't be able to sustain all of it and build it from ground up. Because 2020 was a time when everything was closed.
Yep.
So all of my previous companies had to also close because we had to find new solutions to offer to people. We also had to rethink our business models. So it was only wise of us to close all of that. So the tech company, the PR agency, which was called Yes Gulf and had like some 25,000 members, everything had to close because we had to restart. Many people went back to their country, so there was no point for us to continue with Yes Gulf. So we had to close it and we had to rethink the business model. Then hospitality industry, which was very closely affiliated with and was being served through Yes Gulf, was also suffering. So it has to close. Then Burak Media was not taking off as it was expected. It was founded in 2019, and right towards the end of the year, we discovered that we cannot go on. It has to shut down, and we were not able to build quality media relationships. So that's where the challenges were growing, and we understood that, okay, we have to fully stop.
And I guess that's a big part of the process is knowing when to stop, when to pivot, when to shut things down when they're not going to be working, and not try to keep pushing through and then end up in a difficult situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. So when we were planning to restart in 2020, I sat down and I thought consciously of where the problems were coming from in business operations, where the funds were leaking through, let me say it that way, and how we can prevent the leakage to ensure that money is not wasted and we are still able to create value for all the people who are associated with us, all the stakeholders. That includes teams, managers, vendors, clients, everybody. So that was a quiet time when I could actually sit down and do it. And I could also think about moving forward, what are the best businesses I can create and then sustain through longer period of time, let's say 10, 15 years, and they will still remain timeless and will not be hurt by another change in circumstances.
And were these decisions also influenced by what you're really passionate about, or more business models that you think would work, or a combination of both?
Combination of both, let me say it. Like, my strength is more towards, I'm a good thinker. I'm not a great speaker, perhaps, but I'm a very good thinker. So the beautiful things I can think of and then bring them to life as something practical is something at times surprising for me as well. So I knew that this is what I'm good at. And then I had so much of experience working with entrepreneurs for many years by 2020, because I started in early 2011 and then continued. So that was the area where I could serve business owners and entrepreneurs. So I knew I have to create solutions and offerings for this community. When we were working on building community through Yes Gulf, it was thriving. It was really thriving, and we were very happy with the success of that. And then I understood that I will have to continue building communities the way I was doing before, but maybe have them more focused on something and have them more result-oriented, where the activities lead to more than just networking. Because Yes Gulf was primarily serving hospitality industry, but the consumer were benefiting only from networking. Like we had two types of buyers there.
Right.
One was hospitality industry, and the second was the entrepreneurs and business owners who were benefiting from networking. So what I was thinking was that, yes, my buyer continues to be someone who likes to build something of his or hers and is independent and is a free thinker and is passionate. And then I sat down and I defined all of this in a
That's
book.
basically working out who is my ideal customer or
Yes.
my ICA.
Where I align
avatar.
myself. Then my ideal customer should see me in what light? Should they be thinking that I will do maybe 1% of service in their journey and then I'm gone? Or would they be relying on me through and will be walking many paths together? So it was the many paths that was my
Right.
my
Which
desire.
is a smart business
Yes.
decision, right? Because you get loyal customers that keep coming back and keep needing you to progress further.
Yes. I was able to view a few difficulties there. Like I could, from my own experience, spot that it's very difficult for an entrepreneur to be heard. Not everybody is there to listen to you.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, that it is difficult to get visibility, especially when you're not yet known in your industry. Well, how do you get known if nobody gives you the opportunity to be out
Exactly.
there? So tell us about how you are supporting entrepreneurs and leaders in this area to get more visibility and to be recognized for their expertise.
To be recognized for their expertise. I'll start from here. Not everybody wants to do that. This is what I felt. So we get lots of declines from a lot of people. We feel that they have a great potential and they have a lot of strong messages for the world. There is a reluctance still, even when the ecosystem is very healthy, there are multiple opportunities, there are ways of conveying your messages. Still, there is a lot of reluctance among various entrepreneurs from different industries. They feel that, okay, I have an opinion, that's okay if I don't share it. You know what I mean. Apart from this, while many are very enthusiastic and they would love to share, they are not provided enough opportunities. So there is a limitation on availability of opportunities as well. So what we do and what I do as a person who is in visibility and PR space, we create multiple opportunities for them. So our events are one way of allowing more visibility to business leaders and entrepreneurs. And we are very open and we are very welcoming towards people who are just starting off as well, because we want everybody to enjoy what we have created and to benefit from it. So we've not limited, no. This is the only kind of profile that we would attract. No, we're not like this.
You are attracting a certain profile, so it's not like anyone and everybody is going to come in because of the way that you are approaching people and the kinds of people you're approaching and the marketing that you're doing, right?
Yes, so here is the thing. We are welcoming entrepreneurs who are passion-driven and are really eager to make an impact.
Right.
So this is the definition of people we want to work with. And once we find them, we will do everything in our power and resources to ensure that number one, their message is clear and convincing. Number two, it is reaching to maximum number of people all around the world. And that's what we are working on now. And like-minded people who resonate with that message are connecting with that particular leader.
So you come in and you check how they present themselves, how they speak about themselves, or their copy on their websites, or do you do any of that?
No. Not really that. So we check a lot of details. That includes their presence on Google,
Okay.
the kind of content they themselves are creating, and the strength of the message in that content. How many different conferences and public activities are they appearing? What message are they conveying to the people? How people are responding to that message? What is the overall measurable impact of what they are doing? How long have they been doing that? How consistent they are? Like, it's a lot of metrics. How consistent they are in what they are doing, and whether they are willing to adapt to expectations of the people around them. Because I have seen that also happening in a lot of cases where people have a story and they have a journey and they have a mission, and they're very articulate about the mission. So the mission is repeated in most of the places they're appearing, and a lot of people are responding to it.
Yeah.
And then there is a trackable chain of those responses and the responses that are going from that particular leader towards that. So that creates a journey. We track that. We check everywhere what is going on.
We're talking about social media, right?
We're talking about social media. We are talking about their appearance in the news, in the podcasts, on TV shows, on some radio talks.
So Google indexing, when somebody puts their name in, how much comes up and how visible is that top Google index profile with all of the information that is out there on the internet about them, as well as how they rank in those first pages, I guess.
Yes, because the information that we can find on Google, on their social media, on their websites, is the information that gives us an idea of how passionately they are working on their mission and how serious they are about it.
Yep.
So the consistency and frequency is like the key, and that's where we start tapping into the communication system.
So, I mean, let's take me as a case study. If you would take a look at, not that you're saying that you've maybe done all of this, but let's say, I want to know, what would you do to get started with me? Because clearly I am out there and I'm very passionate and have a message that I want to share, but I want to get more visibility. I don't want to be stoppable. I want to reach further. I want to reach globally. Where would you start?
So we would, the first step is we'd try to get to know you better, because we need to understand how your journey has been. Like, what was the pivotal point that made you a voice coach, trainer? And when you say that you've been helping people build their businesses as well, then it's a little bit of diversity in what you do, right?
Right.
So we need to check your strengths in that area. Then we would recommend you to have more platforms where you can talk about what you're doing and share your experiences. That will automatically attract more business towards you and more people who'd like to resonate with what you're doing and be a part of your journey. So we will go with interviews. We will go definitely with creating news. We will also take you to various events, not just in Dubai, in multiple countries.
Right.
Where you can connect with more people and have greater visibility, where you can personally get in touch with people, not just through the media, but in person as well, so that you grow and you are able to get more business.
So these are events, you actually shared some of these show reels from events that you've put on, mostly in Dubai, but you're expanding your reach now to other countries. Yes. And how do people then get to these events? Is it invitation only? Is it something you are advertising that people can come through and hear about? And yes, I want to be part of that event.
We are not going with the conventional advertising. It's more of invite only. We look at, like I said, that we study profiles.
Right.
So we do that very extensively. We look for, and Google has been a best companion for us in this, as well as social media. So we look for leaders in different spaces. Like we've been repeating in our public messages that we are looking for industry leaders. So we keep on assessing profiles according to the impact they're making in a specific industry, and then we reach out to them. So it's like my connections, connections, and then their connections and friends of friends.
Right.
And that's how we find people.
Do you also manage social media accounts or help people to get more engagement, more grow their following on social? Is that part of your business?
Yes. So when we work on personal branding, we take care of personal branding through 2 steps. Step 1 is the appearance in the media, and step 2 is the social media.
Right.
So we blend in conventional media with the social media, and we launch a strategy where we can help the entrepreneur or the business leader or the thought leader to get maximum visibility. So yes, social media is a large part of it, because that's where maximum number of audience is. Yes. And that's where everybody is looking to find information in terms of solutions to their problems, be it retail, be it, let me say, a hair straightener, or a clone, or a book.
Yes.
Or an author, or a speaker. That's where we go, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So definitely, we take care of that.
Or even if you've heard of somebody, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go and check out their social media profiles to get a better understanding of who they are, how they put themselves out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. Yes. So we take care of that.
Tell us about your print part of your business and the magazines in particular that you have currently running, and what's the I guess the drive behind those.
So let me put it in 2 ways. First one, a lot of people come up to us and tell us print media is dying. So why you are in print media? And I'm like, it's not.
I would question the same thing, really, because, we're all online. Who goes out and buys a magazine
they don't
nowadays?
Yes,
right?
they don't go and buy magazines, but there is still a lot of authority attached to print media. So majority of our, and this is a through client response. StyleFemina was launched it was created in 2018. Gradually we grew it.
Right.
In 2019, when we were publishing profiles related to entrepreneurs in fashion industry and lifestyle industry, people were demanding us to print it.
Wow, that really surprises me.
Yes.
StyleFemina is a magazine for women.
For women.
About women.
About women. From a woman, yes. So they were saying, we need a print copy. And the demand kept on increasing. We need a print copy. We need a print copy.
Is this for recognition? Because when you have something you can hold in your hand, you put it up on social media and you say, look, I've been printed in this magazine. It's not just some dummied up picture that was posted on the internet and then they've done a bit of graphic design to make you look like the front cover of the New York Times or whatever.
So that's when we realized that print media still has its authority. Many of our clients who have come to us in all these years and have asked us, okay, we have a news. It needs to go in the media. They will say, send me print copy of the newspaper. Now, in these days, nobody goes and buys a newspaper and holds it and reads it, right? It's in the phone.
But some people still have it delivered to their houses, right?
Yeah. Yes. So that's where it is. Although things are changing, there's no doubt about it. There is a lot of credibility in the digital media as well. Everybody is using digital media. But to be honest, there is a lot of respect associated with the print media, which is not dying at all.
Interesting.
And this is not just Dubai. I'm not talking about only Dubai. I'm talking about everywhere in the world. We have clients we've been serving from almost 5 of the 7 continents. They all say the same thing.
Well, I guess if you think about magazines like Vogue and Grazia, and these are that's something classy that you can hold in your hand, right? And when you skimming through that, I actually don't do that very often, but you're seeing the models and the clothing, and it has a different level of appeal, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what it is. So
you can't get
when
that when you're
people
just
say
skimming the laptop.
exactly, like when you have something in your hand, it's tangible. So we wanted to bring in that tangibility to all of our work. And we have archives, like big shelves full of all the issues.
Right, yeah.
We have to have it.
Yes.
Because without it, we felt that we were not doing enough. That a large part of media was missing. We had to, so we started printing it in 2022 onwards, and the happiness was immense. We had very happy, very excited people around us who wanted to have a copy. They were demanding for copies.
Yeah.
And they were happy to be in a copy.
Of course.
In a tangible, beautiful piece of art, let me say it this way.
Yeah.
And they liked it. So this being said, I don't believe that print media is dying soon.
Okay, well that's interesting to hear. Yeah,
it's very interesting because the demand is not just in one country; it's from multiple regions, and they all say the same thing.
Yeah. So you've taken that on, and this is something I've noticed about you, is you're very good at seeing what's working or getting into something before the masses then get into it, and then taking it and running with it in all of your different business models.
To be very honest, Lisa, impact is measured how? We assess the result of something.
The response.
But that result has to be a happy response, isn't it?
Yes.
We need to check how many people are happy with this. It's the happiness.
Yes.
And it's through everything. Like even if you're selling ice cream, you want to see how many happy faces you have.
Okay.
If you are selling clothes,
True.
you want to see how many happy, confident people you have.
That's true.
Who want to be associated with the brand. It's similar with all the other services. You will not be happy yourself and content and satisfied with your work unless you have a number of happy faces about the brand.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do. We will give our 100% to make sure we have a lot of happy faces around us.
Yeah, okay, so that was the StyleFemina magazine. You also have another magazine which is not only for women.
Okay, now, when we said that we work for women empowerment, a lot of our clients said, all right, that is accepted, but what is there for us?
Right.
And I was like, okay, we will do something for everyone.
Okay.
Which neutralizes and does not show us only as supporting women.
Yes.
We should be supporting everybody equally.
Yes.
So in one of my talks, when I was in a conference and I was talking about balance, this question was raised there. Like, you're doing so much on this in this
side.
area, on this side. So where is the balance?
Yes.
So we said, okay, we will balance it out. Now we're working on Impactpreneur, which is for everyone in business. And the demand is the same, like people's willingness and eagerness to be a part of it. It's just as much as it was for StyleFemina when we started with StyleFemina. It's taking us a little bit more time to build Impactpreneur because we want quality. We want it to be a premium publication. And that's what we're working on. It's going to come out very soon, inshallah, now. Lots of stories are in it. Lots of great stories that people will love.
That's. I'm looking forward to getting that first copy of that one then as well, and yeah, I guess that's a great way to then connect with people because you're reading their journey, reading their stories, and then you may find there's a synergy there. You can reach out to that person.
So a lot of people say, okay, I've been published in 6 other publications. How yours are different? And then I explain it to them that the purpose is not just to have your story in the publication. The purpose is to bring you out from your comfort zone into the limelight, the spotlight, where people are getting to know you for real. So we launch each of our edition in a networking event. We call it magazine release event, where all the people who have shared their stories talk.
Oh, wow.
And we have an audience for them.
That's great.
The reason is that this is to make sure that your star, the person you like very much and you have read about, is approachable. You can meet with them in person and you can ask them questions as well to know more about them.
So you're giving people an opportunity to speak, get practice also speaking in front of an audience, because that's where I can imagine people are a little hesitant. They hold themselves back because they are not confident to go out in front of an audience, in front of the camera and speak about what they do. Have you encountered that? Have you seen that through these events? Or are most people who come to you, they're ready?
They love speaking.
Okay.
Except for a few.
Yeah.
So people who are very new in, like they're right at the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey, they're very, they're not very confident because they're just starting. So when we have an entrepreneur who's new to the business, has not had a lot of public exposure, has not been speaking anywhere, that's where we need people like yourself to help. Because they definitely need training in terms of speaking in a public scenario.
Yes.
Where they're talking about their brand and about themselves. Yes, it's difficult. We had once a very young entrepreneur, very young. I think she's only 24 years of age. She was very reluctant to speak. So she said very little during that forum. But we had her because she was one of the innovators and we could not deny her the spotlight. She has to say whatever she could, because her language was also not English, so it was slightly difficult.
And that is often a barrier with people that I'm working with frequently. It's a lot in the mind that the English is the barrier, but when they're speaking to you, their English is absolutely fine, but it's that sensation that they are blocked when they are going to speak.
They feel that way.
Yeah.
A lot of courage and a lot of absence of courage is in the mind.
Yes.
Honestly. So a lot of people ask me this question also, Lisa. They see how do you do so many things and how you got so many ideas. To be very honest, I am just living my life the way I want to live. And I cannot picture myself in any different way.
I love that.
And I don't feel I'm doing anything extra. I'm just being naturally myself. I'm exercising all the gifts, the abilities that I have received naturally from God, from nature, from the universe. So I never feel conscious of any of that.
And I think that's why it's so successful, because that's exactly the attitude that you take. Instead of trying to push into a direction that isn't feeling like you, you're following your instincts and your own version of who you are.
Yes. I saw many things during my journey, my initial 6 years. They were full of denial, resistance from companies and individuals. We had a lot of difficulty in finding our clients. We also had challenges in building trust. We also felt that initially when we became their service providers, many clients thought that they should not respect us as much as they used to do, which was very surprising for us at times.
They were already clients, but then they lost the respect, or I didn't quite get that.
They felt that, okay, we are serving them, so they can command.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we were friends before, but now we are serving you. And you can come
right.
us. But sometimes it became very demanding from their side. So we felt that what can make them more comfortable with us was, number one, how we see ourselves in terms of a brand, how the world sees us as a brand, what message do we give to the world, how the world receives that message and responds to it. When we started working on not just the client service, but on our larger message and our mission, and we practically worked towards that. We created lots of activities where people can tap into the system, be a part of the mission, can actually work with us so that we are able to achieve. That changed everything. That changed our perception. That changed the perception of our clients of who we are and how they should treat us and how they should look at us. We became more than just a service providing company.
Yep.
Then I realized that we can do the same. We can bring in the same shift for our clients as well, for emerging entrepreneurs as well, because it's the emerging entrepreneurs who are facing this challenge of building credibility, trust, confidence, building consistency into their system, and having brand authority. It comes with years.
We were talking about this the other day, about how it's so difficult to get published in one of the major magazines, Forbes, Entrepreneur, Business Insider, that they expect you to already be the person of authority.
Oh, yes.
And not only that, but you have to pay to be published in those articles. And that really surprised me, how much people have to pay to be published in these big name magazines.
Yes. So I have a story around it that I can share with the audience. Please. If you're comfortable with
Please.
that. I worked since 2011 till 2018, which is not few years. It's like 7 at a stretch. I had 3 companies at that time, and we were very well known among our clients. We were not working on our public image, which was perhaps not correct.
Yeah.
I was not aware of what to do to make sure that we are trusted more and respected more, and we have more credibility and we have authority. And I was approaching a few publications because we had news and we wanted it out. We were working with mergers and acquisitions and lots of big companies, and we wanted to create news about our work. They denied us. They said, nobody knows you. Who are you? Nobody knows you. Why should we be publishing about you? Pay us these many thousands of dirhams. That was not small, 35, 45,000 dirhams, and then maybe we will get you the news.
Even though it's newsworthy and people are going to be interested to read this and hear about this, it's not on their agenda.
So they were telling me no. And then when I went to the radio, a couple of radio stations, I will not name anyone. They said, Nousheen, this is very interesting. We are happy to have you here. Would you like to have a cup of coffee? The shows are not available. Do you have friends with producers? We're not sure if we can do that. You will have to buy the media. And to buy it, you will have to pay this much. And I was like, really? I have to? And I came back. Then I started attending some of their events, which were to create awareness about their brands so that people could buy media from them.
Yes.
And that was not small price, Lisa. It was very big. And
I attended one of those events myself, yeah.
Yes, it was very big. And then all of the agents who were talking to me from the same entity and same media group, it was huge in terms of overwhelming for me. And I was not able to do that. Any of this was not possible. Then I said, okay, instead of going to the big media and trying to make connections through all of activities that we were doing, and we needed media for our clients also because we had Burak Media and they were not listening to us. And the client was saying, why you are pushing media buying, why you are not pushing PR? And when we pushed PR, they refused us. So I was like sandwiched and I did not know what to do. At that time, I went to a friend. He used to do reality show, and he did for my friend a live reality show with some 75 people in the room, and it was filmed as well and then broadcasted on the social media as well. And when I went to him and I told him the story, I've been working for these many years. This is my journey. These are my achievements. I have helped this. He said, oh, this is fabulous, Nousheen, but you're not ready. Your story is not interesting enough. Let me say it this way, you don't have a story. It's like, what do you expect me? Like, what flavor should I bring in to say, okay, this is a story for you? Then I realized, okay, maybe it's not the right time, or maybe I'm not approaching the right people. Mm-hmm. That was my major trigger to say that I'm going to have media of my own. And in that media, there will be people because they have a message, because they're making an impact, because they're doing their best.
See, that's your story.
And they deserve to be there. They deserve to be heard.
Yeah.
They deserve to be seen.
But see, that is in a way your pivotal moment story, where you went through a journey, you couldn't get what you wanted, and then you had to pivot or make a change, do something different. And that then led you to not only help your own company grow, but then to help so many other people. So now you have a great story. I'm not sure if you what it was like before, but you do definitely now, and that's newsworthy.
I have seen that a lot of people bring in, and that is okay. I'm not judging anyone. A lot of people like to talk about the bad times a lot, so that they can share what brought them towards that wonderful moment of glory.
Yes.
I strongly feel, and I'm very interested in knowing everybody's pain, but I'm more interested in highlighting the success and the achievement more than that. Because I know it's a curve. It has to go down to come up.
Yes.
But the up part is the part that should be glowing for everyone.
Of course. But so I teach people how to tell their stories and how to craft their stories so that it is impactful on an audience. And if you just went straight across and then up, it doesn't connect with your audience the same way. You have to take your audience on that roller coaster ride of what you went through, what it felt like, because they've probably been through something similar, and they can emotionally connect with you on that level. And then you create connections with your audience when you tell the story that way, and then you bring them out, and then that may even give them hope for where they're at right now, that they can achieve that too.
They can achieve that too, very true. For me, every story is important. Every story is of equal significance.
I agree.
And I encourage every woman and every man, of course, everyone, every individual, to share what's in their heart, because that connects you with the people.
Yes.
And we never know who's listening and whose problems we are solving just by sharing what we've been through. And that's why telling a story is very, very important.
That's a really impactful moment to end this podcast on. Nousheen, it's been wonderful having you on. I think that people who've been listening and they want to be more visible, they want to get seen, improve their status when people are searching for them, they want to get their message out, you can help them. How can they get in touch with you?
Google.
So Google Nousheen Mukhtar, but we are going to put lots of the links into our show notes. If they want to go and connect with you, we'll certainly provide that information so that they can reach out.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. My name is indexed and can easily be found. That has all the addresses, emails, phone numbers, so it's easy.
It's been wonderful having you on the show, and thank you for sharing so much and enlightening my listeners on how they can up their visibility.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Congratulations, you've just finished another episode of Impact Through Voice. You're well on your way to making a positive impact in the world with your voice. If you want more, head on over to lisahugo.com/podcast for show notes and all the links that we mentioned in this episode. Until next time.